This is a very interesting day to be alive. So, coronavirus situation is happening right now, and so everything's on lockdown, so to speak. We don't have everything on lockdown, but there are a lot of things that are closed, including bars and restaurants, some schools, depending on which state you live in. At least here in America, I know in other places they've got varying degrees of that going on. Today is St. Patrick's Day, and that's a great segue, I know, but it's one of those things where given a chance to actually contemplate and reflect on some things that we regularly do, and in this season that right now we're not going to actually be able to do that. Like, I know a lot of people bar crawl on St. Patrick's Day or hold extravagant drinking parties on St. Patrick's Day. So the drinking parties may still happen, but the bar crawls won't. At least not where I live. So I live in Michigan. And it's very important that you are able to reflect on this. You know, if you are someone who does this, you know, why do you think it's okay to justify sin with this guy's death? Because the reason why St. Patrick's Day is on St. Patrick's Day is because he died on that day, March 17th, in like 461. At the end of the day, you know, here's a guy who believed in Christ, and he took it to such lengths that the people who enslaved him for 6 years, he went back to them and converted the whole island. Lived in poverty doing it, traveling by himself and with companions and whatever. So like, this is a guy who put everything on the line for Christ, but for those that think it's okay, or those who don't know better, or unfortunately who are culturally raised in it, it's some sort of justification for just getting drunk. You know, I remember when I was teaching in grad school, I taught statistics, and the student I was helping, she had asked, well, why don't we have St. Patrick's Day off? I looked at her, I was like, well, you can if it's a holiday that is part of your beliefs. You can bring that up to your teacher. She's like, oh no, I'm not part of that religion. I said, well, why do you want it off? Well, so I can go out and, you know, with everyone else who's skipping that day, go out and drink with my friends. And I mean, that's not a reason. Like, you know, I wasn't scandalized at that moment, but it was a point of realization where it was just like, wow, like people really, they don't look past the superficial name. Like St. Patrick's, depending on who you talk to, or St. Patrick's Day, depending on who you talk to, it either brings up, all right, well, that was I don't want to say patriotic saint, but it was a saint, the patron saint of Ireland. You know, he was a great guy, you know, and he lived for Christ. Or for some people, you know, like this student that I was tutoring, it's a justification just to go out and drink. You know, which is it for you? For those, I mean, that you've watched this long, you know, which is it for you? Is it a justification to go out and drink, or is it a justification to sit down and reflect on a guy's life who gave everything and converted an entire country over it? Sadly, that country has seemed to gone back to its roots, because one of the things that St. Patrick was very much against was the sacrifice of infants. So today, I hope you are able to reflect, given all the time that we have with our loved ones, on the life of St. Patrick and what the day actually means for you. Have a good day, and I hope everyone's doing well. If you are in need of intercessory prayer for what's going on, the guy's name is Saint Rocco. So I know that's not part of this thing, but it is very important. Saint Rocco is the patron saint of epidemics, pandemics, and plagues, and infectious diseases. So ask for his intercession. So I hope everyone's doing well. Have a good day.